Broadway, listen to the Broadway beat. Broadway makes you wanna move your feet. Everybody's tapping into everything that's happening on Broadway beats. Broadway beats. Broadway beats. Broadway beat.
Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway Beat. The Actors Fund of America and the Vineyard Theater held a one-night-only benefit concert of the John Kander, Fred Ebb, and Terrence McNally musical, The Visit, starring Tony Award winners Chita Rivera and John Cullum. And we're here at the after party to celebrate with the company.
Now the second man I married was a very small Chinese. Look at all my wedding pictures. He barely comes up to my knee. When the Asian flew distracted, 3 little lawyers came to call. Mr. Chu ate chunks of chew. Now yours truly's got them all. So I wore my widow's weeds and walked away. What could I do? Ciao, Mr. Chu. For money cannot heal the sorrow that you feel. Anytime you feel sorrow, no, 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 money can't erase the terror that you face when you're terrified to face tomorrow.
I'm exhilarated. The Visit is such an invigorating musical to work on. Terrence McNally, John Kander, Fred Ebb, Chita Rivera, John Cullum, Annie Reinking, Gary Christ, my assistant Greg Santos. We had such an extraordinary time putting this together. We had the perfect New York audience for a show that just deserves to be on Broadway and that deserves to be seen. And it was an extraordinary night.
Because tonight I got some ideas, some changes I want to make now. I would be in previews for the rest of my life. Okay, you know, that's one of the joys of theater. You can fiddle with it all the time. Movies get frozen.
And some beautiful performances, of course, by talk about your leading lady and your leading man tonight.
Two legends, Chita Rivera and John Cullum. They were so great together. And Chita was born to play this role. We wrote it for her. And it's John was a welcome new partner for her, and he did a great job.
I know she felt something. Her voice seemed to tremble while remembering when. Yes, after all these years, it could be I'll have something. I'm certain we'll have something again.
Well, actually, I was more scared tonight than any opening I've ever been to. In great part because they had like a half an hour rehearsal. They never had a run through on that stage. All those geniuses on that stage, I really couldn't believe it. And I just feel enormous gratitude, and I'm thrilled that it finally happened, and that Chita's performance has finally been seen in this town.
Because I was going to ask you if you talk about your leading lady and leading man tonight, what that meant to you, having Chita and John Cullum.
Well, John and I just worked together, and he's really quite incredible. And Chita, of course, and I have been together for many, many years. But it was very moving, and I feel very guilty.
You know, we spoke at the meet and greet, and you and Terrence both said that The Visit was an easier musical to write. So how proud would Freddie be tonight?
I think Fred would be really happy. He really would be. And as well he should. It's also got some of his very, very best work in it. And I think maybe the lyrics to Love and Love Alone are the best love lyrics that he ever wrote. I think he'd be thrilled.
Look at me, just as determined as I'll ever be. I'll not let sentiment take hold of me. What's in the past will never set me free.
Look at me, look at me, look at me. I will never know the times and change everywhere new spring. I don't care, I don't need, I am there, I am me. And he never seems to look at me.
There's nothing like a New York audience, is there?
No, and there's nothing like a Kander and Ebb score. I fell in love with this play in high school, and let's talk about the sound that this cast makes. Pretty marvelous. David Loud's musical direction, the 12-piece orchestration. It's classy stuff and moving and so timely for today, I think. And pinch myself. This was one of the good ones.
I did the Goodman Theater production 10 years ago, and then we had a short workshop in New York about 3.5 years ago. Then we did it the Signature in Arlington 3 years ago, and now this. So that this will be sort of my 4th time.
Tell me what this evening meant to you, Mark, being a part of this show, this Terrence McNally, John Kander, and Fred Ebb musical.
This is one of those shows that everyone who has been in it falls in love with it. I don't know about the audience. I think some adore it, some aren't so sure. But as far as cast is concerned, I don't think anyone's ever done this and hasn't become entranced by the subject matter and the music. And of course, John Kander is the dearest man who ever was. So being around him, Terrence McNally, it's great. It's just great.
Then you held me. It was thrilling. You said always I was willing. Then it ended. I remember winter. Other voices telling me it's done, it's through. Other voices warning me I dare not dream of having you. Once again I see the snowfall and the ending. Did it end all? No, it did not. And it cannot. And it will not give me justice.
I wanted to do this show when they first did it, but it took a while, and I'm just so pleased that I had an opportunity to do it. I think it's a wonderful piece, and I hope it goes someplace.
And talk about your leading lady tonight.
Talk about her. She's something else. I mean, I worked with Chita before, but I've always wanted to be in a show that was a good show. The show that we did was called 1491. It was about Columbus, but he never made it. He sank. We sank in that one. But this one, I've really enjoyed it. But she's terrific. She has that thing that makes people love her.
Richie, I just feel like crying, you know. I wish Freddie had been here. John Kander has given me so much, and he's given us this piece. He and Freddie have given us this piece, and Terrence, and the entire company is so extraordinary. It's art, it's theater, it's real wonderful, wonderful theater, and I am so grateful. And I'm grateful for the kids. You know, we're in love. Right now, we're in love. This is what we love. We love New York. We love the theater. We want to give it our all the time. And we did tonight. We did tonight. And John Cullum, he was just superb.
I was going to ask you, talk about your leading man.
Listen, he was just as hot as he wanted to be, and it's John Cullum, for goodness sakes. You know, he's brilliant, and he had never done this before. So John was really, I take everything off for that, because John learned it in this little bit of time that we had from scratch. That's really hard to do. And the whole thing with the books and all of that, that's hard, Richie. It's really hard. But we pulled it off tonight because we had enough of theater, you know, the performances would be there if we just stood there. But, you know, the books worked, thank God. We did take a deep breath at the end, especially me.